Hello everyone, DJ Aiden here, and today I want to discuss my favorite part of FNaF Security Breach, the Princess Quest trilogy. If you don't know what these three sets of minigames are, let me quickly summarize it for you. Ironically enough, I call it the Princess Quest trilogy, but it wasn't even a trilogy at first. But in fact, it came out in the Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted mobile port, but after that we heard nothing of Princess Quest. A year later, after that little tease, FNaF Security Breach finally came out, and we find a trilogy of Princess Quest arcades. You got it? Okay, good. When I first saw Princess Quest in that mobile port, I immediately fell in love with the minigame. It was so unique compared to the history of FNaF minigames that we had back then, and the lore for it was just so interesting. But when I played Security Breach and I saw that Princess Quest arcade, and then saw two more arcades, I managed to love it more than I already did. But now that I'm done rambling about my love for Princess Quest for now, let me show you why I love it and think that it deserves more attention. We start off as a princess, as the title of the arcade machine suggests. We then get out of our safe room and we light up the torches. And then in the next room, it's mainly just the same thing, except there are some enemies in the room. As we keep on moving forward, we find a key, but once we get the key, a horde of enemies swarm us, but we manage to get out. The next room we head to is very intense due to the enemies constantly running at us while we have to run to the torches and light them up. Once we light up all the torches, we go into an even more intense room where we're in a linear room and we have to find our way out. Once we get out, we are outside in the rain and we see a set of gravestones. 5 are unlit, while the 6th one is lit up. Once you complete the puzzle, you are able to move on. I want to mention this quickly, but in the graveyard, there is a chest that gives you a bonus heart, and when you take it, the princess says, "I feel strange." I just thought that this was something worth noting. We head downstairs and find a strange key that is used to unlock this corrupted looking door. Once we enter the last door, we are in a small hallway, and then, after going through the small hallway, we then light up the torch one last time, and then... Also, if you decode the message, it says, "I always come back, let me out." The first Princess Quest minigame isn't too much, but it also doesn't overstay its welcome either, so I think for what it is, I enjoyed it. We continue off with a red old man telling us, "You are alive, that is good. Take the sword of light and go." It may seem like that glitch trap attacking us was a dream, or we just survived. I will leave that up to y'all. When we get the sword, we are finally able to face the enemies and take them out. No more running away. A few rooms later, and we are introduced to a new enemy that shoots long range. In the next room, things get more challenging. We have to light up all of the torches while also killing the enemies. We then find a small key after finishing our task. After we unlock a door with the small key, we are introduced to a new mechanic. What I like to call it is the shadow mechanic. The Shadow Princess helps us light the torch that is just simply impossible for us to light up without the Shadow Princess' help. A few rooms later, and we're reunited with the Shadow Princess to help us light up more torches in this puzzle. After we complete the puzzle, we see the old man and he tells us, "Congratulations, your quest is done. Time to sleep." We then enter in the glitchy door and we run into this. Princess Quest 2 is most definitely a step up from the first one. It introduces us to multiple mechanics that can help us continue our quest. It's overall better, but that's not to disrespect the first one, because I do like it, but the second one's just more fun. When witnessing the title screen of Princess Quest 3, we can see that the game is glitching out, with the music freaking out too on some occasions. I know I haven't mentioned the title screens on the other two games, but that's because they weren't really too special. But this one's a little bit more special and different compared to the rest. We start off where we left off in Princess Quest 2. As we explore around, it's very clear that this is the Help Wanted lobby where you select levels and also where we see Glitch Trap. Onto the next room, it is different compared to the other rooms we've seen throughout the Princess Quest trilogy. There's a conveyor belt that helps us move forward. As we keep on moving, we can see Chica watching us for some strange reason. The next room we head to contains a puzzle with the Shadow Princess that we have to beat in order to get the purple glitching chest and open it. After completing the puzzle, we open the chest and see a Glitch Trap plushie. The princess says, "Something is not right." Something is indeed not right. Moving forward to the next room, we see an old friend. Grim Foxy is back from bringing us terror in the FNaF Help Wanted DLC, Curse of Dreadbear. We enter the maze and we have to light up the torches in order to open the other purple glitching chest. After lighting up the torches, we are able to open the chest and we see that a Vanny mask from the corn maze level returns in pixel form. The princess yet again states that something is not right. We go back to the prize counter and open a red chest that contains the strange key from Princess Quest 1. This strange key helps us to open the curtains and then we enter the stage. Behind the stage is a linear hallway, but after we get out of the hallway, we see this. It is the door from Help Wanted, but this time it is corrupted with purple vines. When we open it, it all fades to black, and this is the last thing we hear before the minigame ends. It is currently unknown who the screen belongs to, but right now we have three likely options. It is either Vanessa screaming since we have freed her, and that process may be painful, the princess screaming, or Glitch Trap screaming. None of these really affect the FNaF lore, so you can really believe whatever you want to believe. My thoughts with this minigame is that it's honestly the best Princess Quest minigame. It uses all of the mechanics that we've learned throughout the trilogy and puts them to use. I especially love the homages to Help Wanted, but they aren't just some blast of the past, they actually have a meaning to the story of Princess Quest. In general, this is the best of the Princess Quest trilogy. After we beat Princess Quest 3 in Vanny's hideout, the arcade shuts down and simply says, "Error." Gregory leaves the hideout to see what has happened. He notices that the staff bots are no longer aggressive and are now laying on the ground, but then he notices Vanny's mask on the ground. He puts Freddy's head in the bag, and then Freddy says, "Go on, superstar." Gregory then heads to the exit, only to see Officer Vanessa, but this time she has no intentions of capturing him or anything like that. The credits roll, but after it's done, we get to see a beautiful image of Gregory, Vanessa, and Freddy sitting on a grassy hill eating ice cream while the sun rises. The Princess Quest minigames and the ending too is honestly the best part of FNaF Security Breach. Everything about the minigames have great qualities. It isn't just a great story but lame gameplay. The gameplay is good for what it is, it's simple but it doesn't need to have any complicated gameplay. The soundtrack for the Princess Quest minigames is straight up fire. Fun fact, the Princess Quest title music is a reprise of Through the Cracks from Freddy in Space 2. The lore for Princess Quest has some interesting stuff that has us thinking about what is going on throughout the history of the Pizzaplex. There is a message bag that seems to be telling a story of a worker running into the Princess Quest arcades and delves deeper into the rabbit hole. The series of messages says this: Maintenance log. There's a Princess Quest 1 machine somewhere in the building, an actual stand-up arcade. I guess the devs pulled it from that old mobile game. Why port to arcade? Maintenance log. Princess Quest 2. Won't boot up properly. No idea why. Shuts down when I try to play. Like it's personal. Doesn't matter. I still haven't found Princess Quest 1. Inventory check. There's no record of a Princess Quest free arcade, yet there's a cabinet tucked away in Blast. Won't work though. Sometimes I hear it in attract mode, but I have never seen a single image displayed. Too creepy. Leave it where it is, at least until I play 1 and 2. Maintenance log. I did it. I did what you wanted. I beat parts 1 and 2. Why won't you turn on? What else is there? Tell me. Exit interview. They are working together. The arcades. They're hiding something. The glitches. Glitch them all at the same time. Then the princess will recognize me. She's testing me. I am not yet worthy. The others are protecting it. Let me stay. I am so close. Just one more night. Please. I can save the princess. This little story that the message bags give us really makes the Princess Quest arcades feel mysterious, and I absolutely love it for that. The arcades seem to be haunted, but we don't know who is responsible for this. Vanessa? Cassidy? Or perhaps a new character? But I'm more thinking that it's either Vanessa or Cassidy. Now that we're on the topic about who's haunting the Princess Quest arcades, I think I should explain why some may say Cassidy or Vanessa is haunting the Princess Quest arcades. Let's start off with Vanessa. Vanessa has a decent amount of evidence, and let me explain why. In the first Princess Quest minigame, we are lighting up 16 torches, if not counting the gravestones that have the torches. And in Help Wanted, there are 16 tapes you have to collect that forms Glitch Trap. Whether it's a coincidence or not is up to debate, but if they do this on purpose, then that's really clever on their part. Now for the big evidence is Princess Quest 3. We are literally in the Help Wanted lobby, and we go to the corn maze, which was literally when Vanny was introduced to us. We know for a fact that we play as Vanessa due to the voice line of her talking about how there's no miscommunication. Vanessa being the one who's haunting the Princess Quest arcade is usually what people believe, but there's also some people who think Cassidy is the one haunting the arcade. Let me explain. Also, quick disclaimer that this was written before the 6 Tales from the Pizzaplex book released, so don't kill me if I get any info wrong, okay? Because it would be way too long if I added info from Tales from the Pizzaplex. The main evidence of Cassidy haunting the Princess Quest arcades come from Princess Quest 2. There's an old red man who looks like, or maybe is, Old Man Consequences from FNaF World and Ultimate Custom Night. Also, in the files of Princess Quest, there's a hidden text that says "It's me," which that quotes come from Golden Freddy themselves, who is possessed by Cassidy. And in the files of it too, the princess was called Cassidy, but that was quickly removed, probably either due to lore drops or confusions. In my opinion, I'd say that both are fairly reasonable, so I want to leave that up to y'all because I want to make this video as fair as possible. I know the lore for Princess Quest has a lot, but I think that's what makes it fun to speculate and theorize about. The discussions about Princess Quest really do remind me of the old days of theorizing about FNaF, and I just love that. I know Security Breach is a heavily mixed game, but I really do think that the Princess Quest minigames were a great addition to Security Breach and its story. Though unfortunately, not many people in the FNaF community really appreciated the minigames. I feel like the community didn't bat too much of an eye to the Princess Quest arcades due to there being so much going on in the Security Breach lore and story narrative. I do think that it's a shame that the community dropped Princess Quest so soon, because I do think there's some stuff that we need to investigate closer, since the Princess Quest arcades do seem to be connected with the other arcade games, via the message bag that's found in the Hidden Balloon World arcade, saying that the arcades are working together. If you think we saw everything, then I say otherwise. Not too long ago, Twitter user ntom investigated the minigame, and there's artwork on the door that leads to Glitch Trap. The art is an African baobab tree with half of its leaves missing. This is a reference to the baobab tree from the 5th Tales from the Pizzaplex book, The Storyteller. Bet you didn't know that? Well, to be fair, I didn't know that there's literally an art of a tree too, so fair game. Perhaps the Ruin DLC will give us more insight on the arcades, and that can get the community to really take a closer look at the Princess Quest trilogy. Though that's just me hoping, so I don't know if that'll actually happen. In conclusion, I really love the Princess Quest trilogy, and I think the community should give it another chance when it comes to investigating the lore of it. That is all for the video, but before I end it off, I just want to say thank you all so much for the support as of recently. 100 subscribers and 4K views on 2 of my videos as of now? That's crazy. With the wonderful support of my channel, I want to make my videos as high quality as it possibly can be, so some videos may take a bit longer than usual, but I think that will be worth it, because I think y'all deserve high quality videos. So I'd recommend subscribing to my channel if you're a newcomer, because this is only the beginning of what I want to do with the channel. This has been DJ Aiden, and I will see you all on the flip side.